Okay, with us today, Alon Werber, CEO of Pixelot. With more than 250 employees worldwide, Pixelot is for sure one of the fastest growing sports tech companies, revolutionizing the sports broadcasting industry. Pixelot is working with the leading sports organization, such as the MLB and the National Federation of High School Sports in the US, and elite clubs like FC Barcelona, my team, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Southampton. This month, Pixelot featured in the top 50 power brands leading innovation in sports. And it is today the biggest sports production company in the world. And I'm actually excited to say so, because seeing Pixelot, for the last years, quite exciting. Alon, we are honored to have you here with us today, Sports Technician 2021. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
So let's jump into the water. Tell us a bit about Pixelot, what it does, and I guess that many people are familiar with you, but it would be good to see how you guys actually make the difference in the sports.
Yes, what essentially Pixelot does is a full automation of filming, production, streaming, and even monetization of 16 different types of sports. And it does that through a combination of computer vision, artificial intelligence, algorithms, cloud, etc. And the purpose is eventually to allow to produce so many games, which were not produced in the past. About 99% of registered players and leagues were not really captured and produced in decent quality at a very low cost and very affordably. So eventually we can help really democratize sport. Almost anyone, any league, women's sport, youth, but also higher end leagues can not only produce the games, but get the data which we can extract to a large extent through the video and provide a great service to the fans.
Personally, me, I'm in the industry for the last 13 years. I would say the tech industry, the last 4 years in sports tech. And seeing the growth of Pixelot, I guess you should be proud. What is your, I would say, proudest moment up to date?
I am proud, that's true, but in my nature, I'm also always a bit on alert on the future, because we need to keep this company driving ahead and leading spaces. You should be really full of energy. Going right ahead, not contemplating how great you are for the past. But if I need to choose, I think one is not a single event, is the fact that we actually see the democratization of sport happening in front of our eyes. We have 200,000 games of women's sport, which is, you know the space so well, you know how little this is captured and produced and shared. Oh. And how much this can really help proliferate to sport to so many girls and women out there. Same goes for secondary sports and youth sports. It became affordable. The stuff that was only the services you can expect high-end can suddenly become common in all leagues, and not only the production itself, but also all the data associated with it, because as you know, we extract the data automatically and semi-automatically. So this is one. And the second thing is through the COVID, there were few clubs which had closed doors and use us, the end-to-end solution we have, including the OTT and everything, to actually generate revenues that were necessary for their survival. And some of them approached us and told us, listen, we would have been closed now as a club, in Scotland, the SPFL. Amazing. And this is great. I mean, if we can help a club continue its activity and
so what actually, Alon, looked like disruption 3 or 4 years ago? I would say that now it's hitting all leagues, and you guys are in more than 60 countries, which is amazing. How common is automated sports production today?
So let's put some numbers ahead of us, and I think last month we were producing around 250,000 hours live from 18,000 venues worldwide across 16 types of sport. Whoever is in the business, I think, understands these numbers, because ESPN will produce 40,000, thousand hours annually. I'm talking about 1 month. So that's a lot. We can, at some points during weekends, we will produce concurrently at the same time 4,000 games. And as you might understand, this is challenging, not only from a single standpoint of a single game, but to manage all the scale. And yet it's still the tip of the iceberg, because there are 200 million events annually which are not produced, and 2 million venues, and we are only in 20,000.
You guys are you're keeping on pushing, and you just released an OTT platform, a data and analytics solution, and released a B2C platform. So what's the next on the pipeline?
So first, when as you, any one of the guys who are listening today knows that to release is just the first step. I mean, we release an OTT, but now we need to develop it and keep making sure it works well and scale. And B2C is even, it's a whole new business for us. There are 10 million teams of youth in the world, and we just started. So we need to stay very focused on those activities. Saying that, in parallel to putting a lot of effort in our direct-to-consumer business, which a suite of new products, including even our smartphone, will become one of the tools that bring your own device that you can use. We will keep developing our higher-end solution with multi-cam solutions at high production value, not only for the baseball as we have today in the Major League Baseball, but also soccer. And very soon we'll do the same for cricket. We'll penetrate this year with cricket, the Indian market and the South African markets. We will keep investing in fan engagement. So not only have the production, but have many ways to communicate around it and engage with the content and have more highlights in more sports automatically, semi-automatically. And of course,
I'm just thinking about the numbers, 4,000 games on a week, and how many fans actually are getting exposed, which is amazing.
Right. So it's I must tell you, it's an operational challenge. I mean, if you don't have a very low ratio of issues, you'll have too many people dealing with so many games. So we need to keep the quality really intact. So otherwise, you lose control. There's so many games and so many production. So there's a lot on our plate for 2022 and 2023.
From a macro level point of view, as a market leader, what do you expect to be the next big thing in the broadcasting industry? How Pixelot is actually adapting to the trends that will come following that?
Okay, so naturally the 5G will start impacting our business in a much bigger way. I mean, we had some 5G in 2021, but it's just a start. And when there's a lot of 5G and the barriers of bandwidth are really removed and latency, we can even simplify further our proposition, because we can do all the processing in the cloud. We don't need servers out there, which we need today because it's so many places. You cannot stream that much to the cloud. So 5G will have impact in many ways. I think we think that the AI will keep proliferating. I mean, we see the Facebook vision. I think there'll be more and more AI, and we are designed, I think, to allow to have AI incorporated. We have a panoramic view, so you can incorporate personalized advertisements and a lot of fan engagement aspects, which will be more fun to see and consume the game. There'll be, I think, we'll keep seeing OTT more and more personalized. As OTT proliferates, and it allows to really address smaller and smaller segments of users to the point that it's almost a personalized channel. And there's probably many others which I didn't count now, but there's a lot going on.
So it's always, we always get back to the personal side. From a personal point of view, a personal question: how do you feel as CEO of Pixelot reaching 1 million broadcasted games? What's the feeling? It's a big thing,
I believe it was 2 weeks ago, so it's probably a bit more now. Yes, it's really exciting because when I look back, we don't stop a lot in the middle of the race to reflect a bit. If I look 4 or 5 years back, this would be a fantasy for us to think about. I mean, it was challenging to have one event really produced in good quality. and to have million of them is over time is really exciting. I'm proud of our team.
So I guess that Pixelot not only breaking the seals in terms of broadcasting, but also on fantasy sports now, right? What could be a fantasy? Yes, yes. What
But
could be a
saying all
fantasy?
that, really, Owen, it's strange to say that, but really, it's still just the first step. I mean, we are in 20,000 venues. There are probably 2 million, maybe 1 million of them are relevant. I think in the future, it's not only us. In the future, you'll see automated video and automated extraction of data in every venue, or even long tail, even grassroots, and we want to help this happen.
I think that, you know, companies that have strong leadership, and I see you as a strong leader in terms of CEOs in the industry, always go back to the impact, to democratize the sports, to open sports, to, you know, to many people around the world. And we know the barriers. We talked about the barriers. And actually, you guys connect sports to their communities around the world. How does Pixelot, from your point of view, as a company working with the community, and where do you intend to be in the next years to come?
First, I know that you know, everybody talks about working with communities, but I'll tell you something. I think when you actually work with communities and you lead by example, it's easier to keep your employees. It's easier to keep them engaged. And the service itself has a contribution to community because it allows audiences who never enjoyed this level of player performance and data and exposure to get it. But I think we should lead also internally in the company. We're doing that. We're not doing it enough. I think we should improve there, and I intend to, with the management and our team here, to keep pushing in 2022. We should have more diversity, more women employed also in our company, more Druze, more minorities, and because either it should be a real community play here, not only outbound but inbound. And I'm happy to see that this becomes more important also in the market level and, you know, in the space. And we want to do our share. We cannot change the world, but we can do small pieces there. So
what can I say? You know, if it wasn't virtual, I would come and hug you, because this is so important, this messaging, and I follow all the lectures and the speakers and our guests, and of course Louis Sa, which was an elite player, played for United, for Fulham, and so on, that will come after this session. We all talk about the importance of, you know, the community, not just you know, as a buzzword of community, but exactly as you said it. So Alon, what can I say besides thank you very much? It is an honor to have you guys as partner Pixelot to the STN 2021. And last thing, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I want to thank you and the Colosseum team, because I think what you're doing to unite all the activities in Israel around and connect us to the world around the Sportec is great. I think it's because it can help so many startups succeed better through exposures and connections, and more people are getting employed, and more of us can be really engaged with the community. So keep the great work. I think it's great.
Thank you very much. Happy to read that from you. And send my best to the Pixelot team, the big Pixelot team now. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much.